Yes, it's M.O.Tea time. I'm a bit worried. I just had delivery of my side stand. I've ordered one off eBay, $39.95. Because the bottom of this has rotted through with rust. As you can imagine, we're being a 14-year-old bike. And the one I've got is in excellent condition. It's a little bit of rust, surface rust it said, which was correct when I unopened it. And it comes with the wiring as well. What I'm worried about, when I was cleaning the bike, ready, movement in the back wheel again. And it failed a couple of years ago with too much play in the rear wheel bearings. It's going down bloody potholes. And there was a slight cock up because yesterday I phoned up just to check. Do you need to bring any documents? What for? M.O.T. M.O.T. on a Monday? Chap isn't in on a Monday. I said, what note did you put? Investigate any problems, then M.O.T. I said, no, I didn't say that solidly and book a day. I just said if he brings it in. I said, well, I'm going to St. Anne's. Although I ended up going by train because it was as hot as this today. I was sweating like a pig, so I turned round and went on the train. Anyway, we'll see. Someone, it was Jedi UK I think, when it failed on the tyres a couple of years ago. Oh, he said, oh, he's rectifying everything. That's, well, I don't know what was wrong. I thought the tyres might have scraped through. I don't know what the bloody, how stringent MOTs are. When you see some of the bloody wrecks on road and rat bikes, how the hell do they get MOTs? Do they have play in the bearings? Good point that, innit? That's some right shit heaps. Hello. I'll swap it for that. That's nice, isn't it? For a Yamaha Harley clone. I'm going in. Prepare for lots of money and bad news. What a doomed. Guess what it's failed on? Rear wheel bearings, as I suspected, and the Y join in the exhaust, that joins it to the two silencers, is cracked and corroded. Obviously that's not stainless steel. It's blowing and the clamp's missing. I said missing, it passed last year. I said well, it could have corroded to dust and dropped off. And the two exhaust clamps did exactly that, corroded and dropped off. That's why I got new ones a couple of years ago. But he said a new Y-shape exhaust, it's going to be £100 and odd unless you can get one from a breakers. I said well, I'll have a look on eBay when I get home. Can't afford a new one. And he said your bearing wants seen to as soon as possible because it could be dangerous and lock the back wheel up. So you got new bearings in a couple of years ago. So well, they obviously weren't genuine Honda ones. Well, this is where I had the new bearings put in a couple of years ago. I'll see what they say. Yeah, were they genuine or were they crap? Marvellous. Well, I booked it in there for the bearings. I'm not waiting 2 weeks, and I'm going to go home now, see about the Y-shape exhaust, because I asked that lad there, he's a very helpful chap there, mechanic. I said, is it repairable? He said, oh, I wouldn't trust any kind of repair. Did I mention, he said you'll be very lucky to find anything on eBay. And I said well, I've just got a side stand, so I'll try that company. Obviously got one in for braking. What's a pain in the ass? Hello, yes. DHL have just been 24-hour post. Oh, it's looking for what it's called. Yeah, excellent breakers, bike breakers, Spurs Unlimited motorcycles in Hull. What's that number? Oh, 01482320385 or 223581. Yeah, so I got this because on my bike, I mean you can see that gets worn. You can imagine years and years of that getting scraped, it'll wear through, wear a thin part there, and man, he's just moving about. But there's a hole there for probably welding. And I thought I've got to done with it. Oh, there was a load of old coins on top of there from when my grandmother had this house, and this is a really grotty half crown. So I thought of drilling it and attaching it to there just for a bit of extra wear. Or should I do it on my existing one and keep this as a spare? If that's all that's wrong with it. I mean, the switch is fine on mine. I imagine that'll be a bit of a pain finding exactly where that roots, and mine's covered in grease. But that's a cut-off switch, circuit breaker, so you can't ride off with your side stand down. Yeah, I'll have a mess with that later. But yeah, this is the crucial bit. That's what I filled my M.O.Tea on, as well as bearings. I had a few cracks around here on mine, but this is in lovely condition. I'll just give it a rub over with this, to be honest, the black trim wax. Was a little bit of rust, but nothing that's eaten into the metal, but you can imagine that being the weak point. Only thing I'm slightly concerned about, the limiting collar is gone from there, so where has it gone? Don't think it matters much. Yeah, sand shall be bigger than that, so it'll go on the outside and then clamp it up. But I just wrote online on my latest video, I said just that collar from Honda was 30 odd pound, then VAT on top, so they can sod off. And that new 160ish or 180 pound with VAT. That £50 with delivery. I bet delivery costs £10 because it is not heavy, but you know where Porsches cost these days. So after I've had a shower and breakfast, I'll have a bash at fitting it. Silence is off, hopefully. That should come off fairly. I mean, you could grab hold of that on my old one, jiggle it, and on my old one I'll put a picture up that's actually missing. And I said to the chap, if it's missing, why wasn't it spotted last year? Last year's M.O.Tea, because it passed last year. Oh, he said they rot through and just drop off. And he's right, because my silencer ones I fitted last year, they just crumbled to dust. And I just did that, tried to undo the nuts, and bing, it just came off and crumbled. So there we are, £50, very pleased. Shall I do a video of me attempting to fit it? There might be lots of bad language if I can't jiggle it off. Hello, yes, well, just been and had the bearings replaced. He's oiled the chain, that's good of him. He mentioned the rear caliper is slightly sticking, so he's freed it up. And you mentioned the front ones are sticking again, so I explained, I said, yeah, I got some special pliers in winter and freed them up, squirted them with solvent, and they were still very sticking. And he said, if the problem persists, bring it back and we'll service the brakes. I said, well, I did that last April at Thorncraft, and they made a complete arse of it. Although I trust these lads better. They've had an extension built. All this is a new extension. They've doubled the size of the showroom, and what was a workshop is now a secondary showroom with scooters, and they've got a kettle, a GT 750 in. A Suzuki. And this is now the workshop section, a lot bigger. Philip Yule's in Blackburn. He also has a shop in Manchester. Well, might have to stop and close back. It gets any worse. It's meant to brighten up next week. I just bought a very large scale map, 2.5 miles to an inch, and my other one was a bit battered. Well, a lot battered. I didn't mention any of my lights. Yeah, so hopefully over the weekend, if it's fine enough, I'll tackle those exhausts. It should be easy to do. Well, I mean, the actual job's easy, it's just a question of whether they're going to be stuck on. I tried to get the right hand one off when I was messing with those clamps. I got some new clamps because the others just rotted away. And I couldn't get the right hand one off, but because I'm replacing the Y connector, I could just saw it off with a hacksaw or bash it and not worry about bending it. Seeing as I've got that new one. New second hand one. Well, I thought I'd make a start on my exhaust Y section replacement. It's a lot worse than I thought. Just took the back end off. Sorted the bearings out. I thought it'll be a simple job. Just take silencers off, jiggle lightly with a tap with the mallets. I took the bodywork off to get access to the bolts for mounting the silencers. Loosen them. I thought I'll loosen these clamps, which I got new last year or the year before. This one just crumbled to dust. That one. And just snapped, despite it costing 20 quid. The other one wouldn't budge, so I just had to hacksaw through it with my junior hacksaw. Got the silencers off. I thought they meant to be stainless. Look at that. Just nothing, just crumbled away. So that's what we're making the noise, and the other one is the same. I don't know. I suppose with a 14-year-old bike, you have to expect it. Oh dear. To make it even worse, I've scratched my 7.99 Aldi watch. I got busy and I should have took my watch off. So, a bit late now, but I should have contacted that scrap dealer that supplied my new side stand and the wire connector, and see if he still has the silencers in. I'm going to go on eBay now, but just for novelty, I can see what it sounds like with the silencers off. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Is that wire connector? There's something on the side there, and nothing. It's all smooth on the new one. What's that? Kind of split. You think it'd be alright like that, just making a noise. Low pipe saves lives. And my foot's there, it's not going to blast anything hot onto me. Brackets there, so a stubby one. I don't know, I'd leave all that exposed. See, a stubby one would suffice. So, they're rotten, marvellous in it. I'll put all these bits in a bag. Scratch me nice much. As soon as I noticed they were rotten, I should have rung that scrap dealer. They would have been here tomorrow. See, there's no line there, is there? And on that old one, there's an inside line. Only thing weird about this, there was no limiting ring, you know, on this side. It was gone. So I wound some wire around, some steel wire, and dolloped some black silicone on. It's just a stop level. Although it'll provide a seal as well once the clamps are on. So I need to order 2 new clamps and see if the silencers are still in stock. That's going to be at least 100 quid. Ah, dear me. Marvellous, isn't it? Another complication. I managed to spread the old wire connector out at the bottom, and I'm wondering how to get it out. And I think I'm going to have to remove the bloody suspension joint. And I realised if this one's rotten, which it is, it should just come out of the side. Brakes on that side. Oh, there we are. Looks like it's welded on that side. Why would it be? Oops. I sprayed a load of releasing fluids down the entire system might be shot. Pooh. Not meant to mix chemicals, are you? There's WP60, WD40, And that DP60 which I've just bought, I could have made a very harmful compound. Yeah, it shouldn't be too tricky, it's just getting access to that Allen bolt, and is that going to be stuck like hell? I have to buy a good leverage Allen key. An extra long one with lots of leverage, I imagine that would be tight. Is that torch? Bolt on that side. Tell them tight. Nut on that side, bolt on that side.